Hello, this is Peter Ratson, and I'm coming to you today to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about college graduation rates. We'll talk a little bit about generosity and what you can do about this whole process so that you can, get to college, get finished in time, and it doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. First of all, there's a new book that's out. It's called Crossing the Finish Line, and it's about college graduation rates in America. It focuses specifically on public school graduation rates and the alarming failure of public education, higher education in America to get kids in and out of school and to graduate them on time. The first number that you see on there is 50% in six. What that refers to is that only 50% of all incoming students are graduating within 6 years. Within 6 years. The rate within 4 years is even more dismal. So the problem is that American public colleges and universities are able to get kids in, but they're not able to get kids out. In fact, in this book, Crossing the Finish Line, they do look at some very interesting data and some conclusions which are interesting and perhaps controversial, describing public education as businesses, and that in fact freshmen are cheaper to educate than upperclassmen because they're in larger classes. It's a lot cheaper to educate or to hold a class of some 300 students than a seminar of 30 or less. And so when students do drop out, that's actually good for the college's bottom line. Probably more on that in the coming years. Now, the next number up there is 96 of 100. Now, what that means is that, and we talk about this in our workshops, of the 100 top schools that graduate students that have the best rates of graduation in 4 years, 96 of those schools are private schools. The other 4 are public schools. And the public schools on that list, you could look this up at usnewsandworldreport.com. The 4 public schools on that list are the University of Virginia, College of William and Mary, the Naval Academy, and the Air Force Academy. So the rest of those schools on that list are all private schools. We're not here to necessarily advocate private schools over public schools, but we do believe that students should consider both private and public schools when they're putting together their list of options. Lastly, the third item on the board here is our weekly picks. It is college football season, and in the good taste of financial aid, what we're going to do is I'm going to put together, give you 2 picks this week, 2 big games coming up this week in college football. Michigan is playing Notre Dame at home, and Ohio State is hosting University of Southern California. Now, I may have an opinion about who I think is going to win on the field and who has a better a chance from a football standpoint of winning the game, but I want to take a look at both of these games from the point of view of financial aid. If you consider the fact that Notre Dame traveling to Michigan, now Michigan is, as a state university, does a very good job of meeting financial need. If you go to College Board, you can check out the statistics. Michigan meets 90% on average of financial need, whereas Notre Dame will meet 100% of need. Notre Dame is a school that, as a policy, will meet 100% of need. For that reason, I'm going to go with Notre Dame to beat Michigan on Sunday. As far as the USC-Ohio State game,
excuse me. I'm picking Michigan.
He's got Michigan. From a financial aid point of view, I'm going to stick with my pick with Notre Dame. They meet 100% of need. That's a great choice. Kids who are looking to go away to Notre Dame, that's a great option, great school. Not necessarily a big Notre Dame football fan myself, but I do like the fact that they do meet 100% of need. On the USC-Ohio State side, Ohio State is hosting University of Southern California, another road team. Southern Cal also meets need 100%. A lot of people may not realize that, but that's a private school. It's a great option in Los Angeles. They meet 100% of need. Ohio State, as a state school, Ohio State actually only meets 69% of need. So families who are sending their kids to Ohio State have to come up with unmet need. The point here, even though private schools may cost a lot more on paper, they could end up costing you less out of pocket because of the financial aid equation and the fact that they're more likely to graduate your student within 4 years. That second statistic, that graduation rate, is very important when you're considering the overall cost of attendance over the college career for your child, because if you're paying for school in years 5 or 6, then your student is not earning a wage, not making money, and it's costing you additional money because you're sending them to school for those additional years. For more information, you could read below, visit our websites, come to our workshops, and there's a lot of misinformation out there, but there's a lot of good stuff that we provide available at our workshops, and do your child, do your family a service, and get yourself up to speed on this information well before you're putting together your college list. Thank you.